Loudwire Night.
Got to catch up with Taylor Momsen of the Pretty Reckless just a few days ago, and we talked about their latest album, of course, Who You Sellin' For, and the fact that it's a solid album, right? That could go deep with radio singles if you wanted to, but definitely meant to be listened to as a whole. How important to you was it growing up to get that full story and the artwork and the whole experience? Because you grew up like iTunes era, so really, you didn't really have to gravitate towards that.
I technically grew up in iTunes era, but I grew up on my dad's vinyl collection. So I grew up on actual albums. I started on vinyl, and then he'd make me little cassette tapes of mixtapes of the Beatles and et cetera, and then CDs. So I'm kind of digitally challenged.
Are you?
I'm slowly catching up because it moves so quickly. So no, I think that obviously we're in an era of singles right now, which is very much like the 50s, where it's just constant material coming out quickly and then quickly going away and then something else coming back out. I still love the album because I think that it really captures a moment in time, and you can really kind of look inside an artist and see where they were at, and it captures a moment of someone's life. So I really appreciate the album, but I understand that the world is changing, so we're trying to adapt to that as well. Although we might be stuck in at least with this last record, Who You Selling For, we're very stuck in the track listing's important, and it really should hopefully take you on some sort of journey.
How do you adapt to that, though, when that's not your vision or what you were raised doing or what you probably want to do?
We don't really. We kind of just do it our own way and kind of hope that, our fans and anyone who gives it a chance to listen to it can see that and maybe experience something a little different than the modern paradigm.
We will hear the latest single off that album, Back to the River, featuring Warren Haynes, in just a few minutes. But right now, it's a day to remember. Then more with Taylor Momsen of the Pretty Reckless on Loudwire Nights. Shows, and then it's off to Hungary, Austria, Germany, Switzerland, on and on. So I just asked Taylor Momsen, their frontwoman, of course, what she misses most about the good old USA when she's zigzagging around the world.
I mean, just being home. I mean, even if I'm not home, America's where I live. So it's, when you're overseas, it's very cool to experience different cultures and see, different fans and go to all these amazing places. The unfortunate thing is you're so in and out because it is a tour that you don't really get to experience. You kind of see it all through a window and through a distance. So one of these days I'll take a break and actually go to all these places without having responsibilities of working. When
you think of no responsibility of working and Taylor Momsen, those two thoughts just don't go together. That is a very hard-working woman. We're going to hear their latest song, Back to the River, in just a few minutes, but let's get into some Bull Beat right now. After this, we'll hear Back to the River featuring Warren Haynes by the Pretty Reckless. But before we get to the song and why she went with Warren Haynes for the track, I was curious about the video. When are we going to see a Back to the River video?
We have thoughts percolating. We're kind of in a bit of a transitory state right now, so we're not exactly sure where we're going right now. We have lots of ideas, lots of kind of visual content things for not just Back to the River, but for the whole record that we're trying to put together. But it takes time to make something artistic that you can stand behind. So we're working on it.
Okay. For now, you can enjoy the lyric video. They always put those out first. It's out there in the internet. We have the Pretty Reckless, Back to the River, coming up right after this. A few days ago about this next song, of course, Back to the River, featuring Warren Haynes, and why she decided he was the perfect fit for the song, which comes off their latest album, Who You Sellin' For?
Just because I'm such a huge fan of his. I believe it was actually our guitar player, Ben, who brought up the idea, because we had this kind of southern rock tune that was begging for a slide solo, and Ben can play slide, but, when you can call up Warren Haynes and he happens to say yes, you get Warren Haynes. So he really took that song and elevated it to an entirely different level. It wouldn't be the same song if he wasn't on it.
No offense, Ben.
Yeah, no offense, Ben.
Here it is, the Pretty Reckless, Back to the River, featuring Warren Haynes on Loudwire Nights. us will never go on a tour, and probably even less likely we're going to go on a tour with the Pretty Reckless because, they already have their band together. So when I spoke with Taylor Momsen, I just asked about what a typical touring day is like for her and her band.
We play a lot. The days tend to go by pretty quickly. It's like, you wake up, you drink some coffee, you sound check, you do interview press, you get ready for the show, and then you go rock out and you play, and then the show's over and you're on to the next town.
Expected something a little more exciting than that, right? That sounds a little Groundhog's Day-ish to me. But at any rate, many thanks to Taylor Momsen of the Pretty Reckless for her time. Always appreciated. Giving you Black